Hey guys, this is Camper15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with some more Higehiro episode, I believe 8 review. And what an episode way to end the episode. What a way to end the episode, man. Cause holy crap. Man, that I should have seen this coming. I should have seen this coming. But anyways, we're back with another Higehiro episode review. I thought this episode was really good. It increased our built, and even now we're having the tension of the story get crazy. It seems like next week we're gonna get Sayu's past. But let's talk about this week because it now seems like our boy Yoshida is. I'm not trying to say he's catching feelings for Sayu, even though it looks like it. He did hold her hand very long this episode, but he's definitely feeling like she's just a main member of his life now, which I did like that whole thing. Now, we know last week Sayu's brother at the end just showed up because he's looking for her and everything, which is still odd that, okay, why is the brother looking but her parents aren't looking for her? Two, we find out that it looks like Sayu comes from a very wealthy family, which is what we're guessing, what I'm guessing, so we'll just have to find out, I guess next week in the past. Now, as Sayu's going home, she actually runs into Mishima, and as she's talking to Mishima, she's like, oh, I just brought some groceries for, later and stuff like that. Mishima's like, wow, I can't believe you're doing all this chores and stuff like that. Then we see Sayu hide behind Mishima because Mishima, for some reason, is blowing her cash, her money, to go see more movies. Listen, I'm all be it for movies, and I'll probably be in a movie theater in the next few months because all these movies are coming out and everything, but my god, I'm not gonna blow all this cash to go watch a movie. Anyways, as I was saying, the thing is, Sayu sees her older brother, he hides, and then that's when Mishima comes to to the revelation, like, oh, so someone is looking for you, and stuff like that. Now, I believe Sayu doesn't tell Mishima who it is that, who is looking for her. But what happens next is Mishima's like, okay, we'll go to the karaoke place near the station. So that's what they end up doing. They kind of end up a little of a discussion and a talk. And essentially it's kind of around Sayu and Mishima telling Sayu, you're gonna have to go home eventually. Like, you can't keep this up. Essentially berating her and stuff like that. Like, what's your relationship to Yoshida? Do you love him, or is he just some guy to you? I'm essentially, again, like I said earlier, Mishima's like just berating Sayu of all these questions and stuff like that, and being pretty rude and being pretty mean to her and stuff like that. And I'm like going through the scene, I'm like, bro, why are you asking all these questions to her? I'm like, right now, I understand what you're asking is like because you care, and obviously it's smart questions to ask, but it's like you're just bringing all these questions over and over again. She's like, whoa, what the hell are you talking like? And it's obviously it looks to get Sayu a little bit like thrown off and a little bit upset and stuff like that. But then that's when Mishima's like, oh, I'm sorry, and stuff like that. We should really text Yoshida what's going on and stuff like that. So eventually later on, Yoshida shows up, and Yoshida's like, hey, I'm ready to go home. And he's like, yeah, sure, Sayu, and stuff like that. And then he's like, hey, I'll take this bag and stuff like that. And essentially he's doing everything for her, and Mishima's just kind of like getting, as you can see, they cut to her face, and she gives the look like obviously she's jealous and she's upset and stuff like that. And that's when Yoshi's like, hey, you want to come with us and come to my place? And so you want to have a bite to eat? And Mishima's like, nah, I'm good. I'll just stay here and stuff like that for a bit. So yeah. And then that's when, after they leave, you have Mishima kind of break down in tears saying, like, why can't he treat me, or why can't he look at me like that? Essentially saying, like, why can't Yoshida give me attention like he gives Goto and Sayu? Which I'm going to make a prediction when we get to the end of the episode, but that's kind of where it goes on there. So as Sayu and Yoshida are walking home, um, Sayu wants to do something for Yoshida as a way to pay him back for everything he's done for her, and stuff like that. And then she looks at this poster of a summer festival, and it's the typical, and I guess in your rom-com shows, you get the festival little arc thing where you have the two characters go to the festival, and it just makes the relationship between the two better, which is what we kind of see here, and stuff like that. So what happens in this scene, or in the whole festival scene, is it's kind of Yoshida just thinking about, one, he's looking at Sayu in her yukata, or her kimono, and I'm not saying he's turned on, but he's definitely being very much attracted to her, because she even says, like, you look pretty in your kimono and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, well, we're definitely getting relationship vibes here. So I find that completely hilarious, and it was adorable at the same time. But the main thing Yoshida is just wondering is, like, wow, after when Sayu goes home, this is all gonna be all over and stuff like that. Two, we also get a nice cute moment where this one kid bumps into Sayu, and then Yoshida just grabs her hand, obviously on instinct, and essentially they just literally hold hands for the rest of the festival, because I thought it was funny, like Sayu's like, well, now I can't get lost in everything. So I did like the fact that they were somewhat holding hands. If you want to get my thoughts on the whole Sayu Yoshida maybe hooking up by the end of this show, I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. I know not a lot of people want that, and they rather keep it the father-daughter type of route. I wouldn't mind it, because they're kind of doing the same thing on Koikimu, especially this episode. Although we'll see where that goes, but I wouldn't mind. But at the same time, I understand why people would have an issue. Like, I don't support an older person dating a high school girl, essentially. But look, we'll see where it goes. But the main thing Yoshida is kind of just observing from a background is, like, when Sayu's gone, she's gonna be gone. And he's just thinking, like, geez, where would my life be without Sayu? Like, my life's completely changed because of her. I'm not like the same kind of shut-in person that kind of keeps to myself and just lives by myself in my apartment doing really nothing. She's kind of just come into my life and given me, I wouldn't say a purpose, but I guess you could say a meaning, a more upbeat, joyful thing to his life, where he has somebody he can talk to on a daily basis, because, hey, you just built a relationship and everything. And then, he comes back from, his daydreaming thing of what he was thinking about, and he sees Sayu's not there, and he's like screaming out to Sayu, and he's like, Sayu, Sayu, Sayu! And Sayu's like, I'm right here. You good? And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm great. And that's when Sayu kind of brings up the question. It's like, what, you don't want me to go? Or I think it's he, I don't remember it clearly, but he says, like, I kind of want you to stay. And Sayu kind of hears this, and she's like, what? And she's thinking, like, but I thought he wanted me to go home. And that's kind of after the fireworks show happens. That's when it's like, you would think you would probably get your moment where, well, the main male character is probably going to say, like, hey, I love you. But no, Yoshida doesn't say that, because, well, one, Sayu also wonders, like, does he love me like he loves Goto or something like that? And essentially, like I said, you get the moment where they're, like, looking at each other. There's a nice scenery, a nice little lake in the background with the moon, and it's like, this is the moment Yoshida could say, oh, I want you to stay with me because I care about you deeply, and stuff like that. Or this would be the moment of rom-com where the main male character says, hey, I want you to stay with me because I love you. Although, thing is, Yoshida's like, don't worry, you'll be going home. I just want you to go home and stuff like that. And it kind of throws Sayu a little bit off balance, because she's like, oh, you know, because like, she thought she was probably gonna get another answer like, oh, is he gonna confess and say that he likes me? Because last few episodes, you know, she's been wondering and she's been just thinking, what if Yoshida likes me like that? You know, what is my response gonna be to him? And stuff like that. So, and then Sayu gives the very interesting question here, which I almost forgot too, but she gives the very interesting question when she's talking to Yoshida. She's like, what would you have done if I was not a teenager and if I was just some adult girl just living on the street and you found me the same exact way? Would you do all this? Would you like go all the way with me? And then that's when she's like, no, you probably wouldn't. You'd probably be treating me the same exact way you're treating me now. Which I think, yes, that would probably be the case for Yoshida. He would definitely have treated anybody the same way and would have, if it was an adult, he would have been like, hey, you need to get your life together and everything. Although in society today, you probably wouldn't be bringing in a homeless person and stuff like that into your household unless you're a very good Samaritan and you're looking out for somebody. Yeah, now the what the F, you know, mic drop where your jaws drop part of the episode was the end of the episode where you get the knock on the door and you have Yoshida opening up. We see Sayu's older brother say, is this Yoshida's son's, you know, residency? And Yoshida's like, yeah. He's like, look, I'm looking for a girl by the name of Gawa Sayu. And that's when Yoshida puts it 2 and 2 together. He looks back at the dude's like, I'm her older brother. And that's where the episode ends off. So, and, you know, the brother sees that Sayu's clearly in his house or his apartment and stuff like that. And that's where the episode ends off. It seems like next week, based on the next episode title preview, we're going to get really the past of Sayu finally revealed, why she ran away. We definitely going to need to see that and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting to see how Sayu's brother reacts to Yoshida keeping her in the house. I wonder if he'll ask, like, you didn't do anything to my sister now, did you? And obviously Yoshida's gonna be like, no, I didn't. So it's gonna be very interesting. Now, my prediction and my theory on this is because the one question is, okay, how did Sayu's brother just magically go to Yoshida's place and know where it's at? Because I feel like it will make no sense for him to do the door-to-door thing at that little apartment complex thing and ask, hey, I'm looking for my sister, because he specifically called Yoshida, like, is this Yoshida's residency? Like, and stuff like that. And what I feel is somebody ratted Sayu out and said, I know where your sister is. Now, I've seen some people say it could have been Goto who could have did it, but I think it's not Goto. I think, and this is purely a prediction, purely speculation, I think it was actually Mishima that essentially blurted out and told Sayu's brother that, I know where Sayu lives at for the time being while she's been running away. You can go to this place. Because we see earlier in this episode, one, the karaoke place was near the station that Sayu's brother was at. Two, we saw how we've seen the last few weeks how Mishima wants, you know, Yoshida to pay more attention to her instead of really Goto and Sayu and stuff like that. And we've seen how she's been getting jealous because of it. And I feel like Mishima would do this to say, well, if I can get Sayu out of his life, maybe I can stroll on in, and maybe he'll lose interest in her after she's gone and pay attention to me, and stuff like that. Because we know that from last week, Mishima's taking a more aggressive approach. And honestly, if she kind of did this, listen, she did the right thing. Obviously, you should tell somebody's family member, like, hey, your family member is here staying with this person for the time being. But it's kind of it's honestly kind of a dick move, because you're not really asking, like, Yoshida, is it okay with you if I say this? But that's just my speculation on that she did it, and I think she did this purely out of just pure jealousy because she wants Sayu out of her life because she wants Yoshida to just be focused on her and stuff like that. And sometimes you do desperate things for people you kind of love. Although Yoshida has not said he loves her back, Mishima back. If you're in love, sometimes you do desperate things, and sometimes those desperate things might be stupid things. And we started to see this episode that Yoshida is maybe, because even Mishima kind of says it too to Sayu. She's like, you and Yoshida are kind of very dependent on each other. And we see that Yoshida kind of is a little bit dependent on Sayu now because it's been like 2 months since they've been living together and stuff like that. So it's going to be very interesting to see Yoshida's reaction to this. I envision he can't be like, no, let her just stay here. She's been fine with me. Because technically the brother can be like, well, then I guess I'm going to call the cops and say, well, you were with my sister. And he could just fabricate anything if he wanted to, potentially, as a way of blackmail to get Sayu to go with him. So it's going to be very interesting to see where next week goes. I think there's only like 12 episodes for this show. Last time I checked, I think there's only 12 episodes. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check on my own free time. But next week is episode 9, and then we only got right now we only got 4 more episodes. So yeah, other than that, that's kind of it. So I very much enjoyed this episode. Just can't wait to see where this is going. This is probably one of the cliffhangers. I'm like, dude, really? I need to see next week. Next Monday needs to come here like right now. Anyways, which is crazy enough to say because not a lot of people love their Mondays. But other than that, that's kind of it. So I'm gonna get over, guys. If you guys liked the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode. Who do you think potentially ratted out our boy Yoshida? Again, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Higehiro content, as well as hit that subscribe button to get more content I upload to the channel. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna get over, guys. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night. I'm gonna come to this video. Until then, guys, I'll catch you guys next video. Peace.